Welcome to Trading Crypto Ninjas, a little bit of a different video today. One trader puts in a short, makes 10 grand. Another trader puts in the exact same short with the exact same position and loses 30 grand. What's the difference? Someone buys Bitcoin, makes 250 grand. Another one buys Bitcoin, loses $69,000. What is the difference? It's self-growth, it's habits, it's mindset, which is what we're going to be talking about today. I'm joined with Stephan Subero, who is going to be joining us on Trading Crypto Ninjas. He is part of my Crypto Ninjas private VIP. He is a good friend of mine. He is a friend of the Vista Mundo Retreat Center that we are building here in Costa Rica. And he's also a fellow friend with pain points of being scammed. So, Stephan, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and how we got scammed, which is how we met, right?
Yes. Thank you, Nicola, for the intro. I really appreciate you taking this time to have me on your channel. That's an interesting story, right? So that was actually at the beginning of my crypto journey. And again, like most people entering the crypto space, we come in with the lure of we're going to become rich quick. We're going to make lots of money fast. And no, yes, you can, but that's not the mindset you want to get into the markets with, because you will find a lot of deception and a lot of walls in your way. So we basically were part of a rug pull scam in early 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
For you, 2020. I entered in 2018.
Okay, yes, Nicola was in there much earlier. Me, it was 2020. I basically lost one Bitcoin in that rug pull.
I lost 6.
Back then, and back then that was $10,000 Bitcoin, which, hey, if you put it in perspective, that's a lot of money right now. But it's a lot of money then as well, right? So it was an interesting experience. And there's one thing that kept me going. And there's a quote that I always read, and I have it on my wall somewhere. It's fear has two meanings: face everything and rise, or forget everything and run. We have to choose which one we decide to do, right? And at that point, I remember just being like, I just lost one Bitcoin. I'm just gonna run away. That's enough. But fortunately, I had you, Nicola. I had some other members of the Crypto Ninjas trading community, and we put our heads together. We started to learn more. We started to improve more, understand just the bigger picture of what this is all about. And again, that's why not coming into the space trying to get rich quick. You want to really take your time, understand, and learn.
Yeah. And Stephan, you're a day trader now. You're also a crypto investor, but your background is as an artist, right? You're a performing artist, and you were quite famous at one stage in a boy band.
My background, well, it's that was a long time ago. I don't want to reveal my age, but I'm 37 right now. And that was in my early 20s. I was a part of a Latin boy band back in Latin America, traveled a lot, toured a lot. But after that, I always kept performing as a hobby. I kept it up. So every country I go, I perform. Every country I go, I try to bring my music, my voice, and my passion for transforming, because it's all about really making a change, right? And I try to do it with anything I put myself towards. So with music, and now with crypto.
I was going to say, you've done a huge transformational journey, and you're totally in the realm of teaching self-growth. And Stephan is starting his own self-growth crypto channel, and the link for that is below, by the way. He is going to be guesting on our channel as well. You've done a lot of self-growth, a lot of self-development, which we're going to be talking about today, and you've transferred it over into the crypto space, which is really awesome. But why don't you tell us the hugest self-growth opportunity you had that precipitated getting you into into crypto? Because guys, this is a story that blew my mind when Stephan first shared it with me.
Yeah, well, you gotta say I have my why. And my why for getting into crypto was my family and I, my wife and my two kids, we used to own an off-the-grid eco lodge in the Commonwealth of Dominica, which is a small island in the Caribbean. Um, we were building an intentional community, very similar to Vista Mundo, and in which we wanted to teach about holistic health, holistic healing, permaculture. And unfortunately, in 2017, a Category 5 Hurricane Maria, same hurricane that completely destroyed Puerto Rico. You didn't hear about Dominica as much because it's a tiny island, but imagine an island that's imagine this is the island and this is the hurricane. I don't know if you can see the perspective, but the hurricane was almost 20 times bigger than the island, and it sat on the island for 8 hours, winds of over 170 miles per hour. So it was just a life-changing experience. We are blessed to be alive. I know that we are protected because when I sit back and I reminisce and I look at the pictures, I don't know how we survived. So we were definitely protected.
So let's talk about when you had the shutter down and you were holding the shutter door down, protecting your two kids and your wife, and you were holding it for how many hours?
I held that door down for 8 hours
8 hours.
while the hurricane was there. Yeah, we survived in the closet that got kind of toppled over, and we were kind of like squatted down. And again, it all happened perfectly because we kind of created our own little cocoon of protection. And yeah, with me holding it down and my wife holding the kids, we kind of were able to create a little safe bubble during that time there.
Wow. So how did that segue into crypto?
So after losing everything,
Literally.
you come to realize literally losing everything. Now it's like, okay, how do I rebuild this life for my family? How do I set myself up again to have this life of freedom? Because for me, I love crypto. I love what Bitcoin stands for, which is freedom of financial wealth for everybody. And for me, having freedom also entails community. I think that's the number one commodity that we all need, which is a good community. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have community, we don't have anything. So, how do I create this again? And that's where I was introduced to Bitcoin. And again, not in the right way because it was through let's get rich quick. But I am fortunate to say that now I am on the right path. And I am so excited to just share my journey, share my growth with your audience and to build my audience as well.
Beautiful, yeah. And it was actually through getting scammed from a Bitcoin thing that we were both in that I started trading crypto ninjas because I thought we need to have a community that's always watchdogging what's going on and sharing all the information, because it doesn't matter how much due diligence you do on these projects, things change. And we've seen that with FTX. We've seen that with Terra Luna. We've seen it with a number of projects that just, have rug pulls or they go under or there's criminal behavior. And by having the community, there's many of us that are doing a lot of research and we cover a lot more ground that way. So it's been really valuable. And it's ended up having you and Kelly, who's also joining us on the channel from the Crypto Ninjas VIP group, become experts in your own field within the crypto space. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about self-growth. You talk about 5 habits that we need in order to be successful traders. So you end up being the trader or the crypto investor that bought at the right time and made money instead of losing money.
Yes. So let's dive into these habits. And again, for me, these habits have evolved and they will continue to evolve. But right now, especially in this bear market, which we're in, I think it's so important to really get these habits consolidated, really focus in on them, and use this time to really get stronger at these habits and really make them a part of you. Okay. So the habit number one, I would say it's a complete paradigm change, a complete paradigm shift. And this is something that we've talked about a lot. And Nicola and Trading Crypto Ninjas, we've done a lot of sessions specifically on mindset changing and switching that paradigm, because we grew up in a world that tells us that it's hard to make money. You cannot get wealthy without doing this or that. To make a lot of money, you have to have a lot of money. Or to make a lot of money, you got to work your ass off all day long. And again, there's nothing wrong with working hard at succeeding at something. But if you have that mindset that it's hard, it's hard, it's hard, it's hard, that's what you're telling the universe, right? You're telling the universe, well, for me to be successful, it has to be hard. So just changing the phrasing and the wording behind how you approach success and making, whether it's making money or becoming good at playing an instrument or at singing or at anything, I think it's really important not to see it as hard, but see it as what it's your passion, and you look forward to it. And there's a book by Dr. Joe Dispenza called How to Become Supernatural. I highly recommend it to everybody. And he really breaks down the psychology and the mindset of meditation. And, you know, he takes it from the woo-woo realm and he brings it to science, because there is science to back everything concerning law of attraction and mindfulness and meditation, right? And what he says, you want to put your body, your mind, and your spirit in elevated states of high emotion whenever you are doing the thing that you're trying to achieve, or as much as you can. So you wake up in the morning, you put yourself, and, you know, he has different exercises and techniques that he uses to help you get into that state. But you basically want to put yourself in those states of highly charged emotion. You set that intention while you're in that high state of emotion, and that's going to ripple out and kind of send that frequency and that energy out, and will attract that back to you.
I have a real visceral experience of how mindset and beliefs that we have can affect your trades. Because when I first started trading with leverage, I did 2 years of spot trading, did really well. I came up through the stock market. Like in my 20s, I worked in a brokerage department of a merchant bank, and we took big institutional money and traded it on the stock market. So if any of you have EFTs or you have cash management funds or anything like that, then that it was our bank that would take that money and then trade it on behalf of our institutional clients. So I segued from the stock market into the crypto market, did really well with spot trading. As soon as I started doing leverage trading, you then have to manage risk a little bit differently and put in stop losses. And when I first started, I kept getting stopped out, and it felt like I was being hunted. And I know there is this thing called stop loss hunting, and it was like every time I put in a stop loss, I would just get stopped out. So then I went, well, I'm just not going to put in a stop loss, and I'll just put orders underneath, you know, if we go down, not really realizing too much what I was doing. And then I would get liquidated. So in the early days, I lost quite a bit of money making that shift from the stock market into crypto. And then when I did, I'm in the habit of doing mindset stuff every single day, whether I'm doing law of attraction, affirmations, visualization, meditation, or whether I'm clearing emotions that have come up during the day or limiting beliefs that have presented themselves. And this particular day, I was really upset, and I just went, okay, what the heck is going on? And I started looking at my beliefs, and I had this so-called curse. A curse is when somebody has said something to you, you've taken it on and believed it, and it becomes a belief, right? That's all a curse is. Yeah. And I heard these words in my mind: you will always stop. You will always get stopped. Doesn't matter what you do, you're going to get stopped. And that was from a time when I was an activist in a past life, if you will, right? And being told that I was going to get stopped. So that translates to trading in in the market with you're going to get stopped, you're going to get stopped out, or you're going to get stopped from making a profit. And I literally, within 24 hours of removing that belief, which is what we teach in Crypto Ninjas, if you become a member, I removed that. And then number one, I didn't get stopped out. Number two, I had an epiphany about a really good trading strategy, which we do, which is the cheeky buy order layering into a trade, right? So you don't ever get liquidated and you don't ever get stopped out. So so that's that is clear, because I know that we can talk about all of this stuff. And today I watched a video of Carl from the Moon talking about how he got to where he was using law of attraction, right? And we can talk about it. It can sound fluffy and airy-fairy, but there are real results that happen when you create that habit, right?
Yes. And it's something that needs to become consistent. There's no, you have to consistently work on yourself. There's never going to be an end to it. There's no, I'm good now, I don't need to. No, that's it's a consistent thing. So just building that habit and finding the tools that work for you and just keep going at it.
It's the exact same thing as fitness, the exact same thing as health, the exact same thing as building muscle mass, right? It's the consistency that you have to keep up to gain it and then maintain it. Great. So habit number two. What's habit number two?
So habit number two, have a strategy and stick to it. And this is especially important for new crypto investors, new traders. Because what tends to happen sometimes when we enter into the markets, we get so excited, we're hyped about this strategy we're seeing on YouTube or this and that. I recommend to everyone, find one mentor, find one person, find one strategy, and stick to that one strategy. Make sure that your onboarding is on point, your tracking, your portfolio management, your alerts, indicators, whatever you decide to use. Have one strategy first, understand it well, perfect it, and then move on to another one. But when you try to do too much too fast, that's when you lose money.
Especially in the beginning too, like, because you get confused and it's like master one and then it's easier for you to master the second one, right? Exactly. And you get into the habit of, if you're day trading every day, you go through a series of steps within your strategy. You're looking at your charts and everything is relating to that strategy. And then you just trade it over and over and over again, right? Because every strategy that's out there, that a lot, whether it's pattern trading, whether it is swing trading, whether it is, selling at resistance, buying back in at support, whatever that strategy is, there's an Ichimoku strategy that we learn in Crypto Ninjas. It works if you work it most of the time, and right, and then the next step is learning how to trade your strategy when the market is being heavily manipulated.
And that's why, and now that you're mentioning that, that's why it's important to have a strategy and follow it, because if not, then we just become open to emotions. And when something shifts, you get nervous. You feel, you either exit the market too soon or you get in too early because you get caught up in emotion. Best traders are the ones that trade like robots. That's why AI is so good at trading, because they just look at technical analysis and they focus on what's going on. They're not worried about, my emotions, or I'm going to lose this money. And that's why it's also important. Never trade.
What's Elon Musk twittering today?
Oh, God. Yeah, Elon, thank you. So very important. Again, find a strategy and follow it, stick to it.
And we teach a number of strategies in the Crypto Ninjas VIP group. If you're interested in finding out what we do about our community and learning the strategies we do and how we trade without stop losses and without getting liquidated, you can hit the button at the link below to go over to the Crypto Ninjas website to find out all about that. Habit number three.
Habit number three, surround yourself with the right people and community. You become the 5 people you're the closest to, or you will transform into that. So if you surround yourself by people who are just not doing anything, who are just lazing around, and that's the energy you're going to have in your life. So that's why finding a community like Crypto Trading Ninjas is important, because you have daily encouragement by other people who are in the same space as you. You have people you can throw ideas off of and really connect with, right? It could be, you can do this by yourself, but it's such a
Yeah.
sad journey when you do this alone.
Yeah.
And there's so much joy to celebrate in, wow, I got my first trade, I got my first whatever profit, I 10x my first coin, whatever it is. You want to be able to share this with people who understand it, because
Yeah.
you could go tell your friend or whoever, but if they're
Yeah.
not into it, they won't really understand what you're talking about. So it's really nice to have that community around you that just helps to uplift you.
Yeah.
Again, because there are times when you will want to quit. There are
Yes.
times when you will lose money. There are times when you will look at a new strategy and you'll be like, this is so complicated. How do I do this? Right. And if you don't have that community, that support system, sometimes you'll give up.
Yeah.
So having that
And
community behind you, it makes a huge difference.
yeah. And by community, we're not just talking about commenting in the comment section on social media. We're talking about getting together on Zoom, which is what we do in Crypto Ninjas. I think we're one of the only ones that, like, every week we get together on Zoom and we chat, and we're in Discord and we're in WhatsApp. And you know what's really worked well, and this was one of the goals that I had coming out of being scammed out of 6 Bitcoin. Oh, that the level of watching that you need to do to succeed as a trader and even as an investor in an unregulated, volatile market is time consuming. And as one person, especially if you are also holding down a job, or like me, you've got a business that's separate to your crypto hobby, then you've not got a lot of time. And during this whole bear market, most of our people got out of Loon C. The only ones that didn't get out of Loon C were those that were away on retreat or holiday and didn't see our warning messages, right? But we had warning messages. We were out of the trade anyway with Luna, which is now Loon C.
Yeah.
Nobody was in FTT and Crypto Ninjas. Nobody had that coin. Nobody was in FTX. We told people to start getting out of BlockFi over a year ago. Yeah. Celsius. No, none of our Crypto Ninjas were in BlockFi or Celsius, because there were lots of us hearing murmurings, discussing it, doing early warning signals, moving around, and helping each other, get into the right place and move your coins around so that they were safe. And not one trading Crypto Ninja lost any of their crypto.
Yeah, it's a huge space
because of community.
Yeah, it's a huge space. You cannot track everything that happens in this space. One person cannot do it. There's over 5,000 coins right now. There's regulations being thrown every single day. There's so much. You need different people, and a lot of people have different interests. Like
exactly,
somebody in your community will love the tax side, which is our example with our friend Kelly. She's an accountant, so she enjoys that. Ask me about taxes. It's like the thing I hate the most. So, I wouldn't personally go and research it. I do it because I have to, but it's not something I'm be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go research and see what that is. I don't think many people enjoy researching about taxes, but at least you have somebody who has the background and it'll be easier for them to kind of maneuver through the lingo. So having that backing, having that community, again, it's invaluable. There's no price you can put on it because it's just invaluable.
Yeah. And also, like, if you aren't in a community and you are relying 100% on free videos, you're very vulnerable to loss. Because here's the deal. When we make these videos, sometimes they don't get uploaded a lot. And with the bigger YouTubers, they'll have assistants. We have an assistant. And if they don't get it up on time, if their computer crashes, then the information comes a little too late, right? Like we warned everybody about about Terra Luna. And I was seeing big channels still talking about how great Terra Luna was. And we were just sitting there going, no, something's up. We warned everybody about stable coins and making sure that, you are moving in the right stable coins, right? And then that happened, and we didn't know that it was it was going to get unpegged, right? And we didn't know it was going to drop, but we could feel that something was in the works. One, because of how things were lining up, and two, also because we do practice our mindset, and we practice intuition and practice honing in our supernatural skills. And the bigger players took a little while before the warnings were coming out, just because of sometimes it's just physically impossible to get things out in time, or because they're also covering a lot as well, or they might be on holiday, or they might be sleeping when it's happening because of the zones. So if you're out there in crypto and you are relying 100% on free YouTube videos, that's the quickest way to lose the most amount of money, I think.
Yeah, yes, it is. And this is actually a great segue for the fourth habit, which is don't fall for hype. And, this is so important because you're talking about the big YouTubers, you're talking about, their content. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of big YouTubers, and I'm not going to call any names, that to me, they're just sellouts. They're just in it to make money. They don't really care about the public. They don't really care about the retail investor, the retail trader. They are just there to build their affiliates and make money. And hey, to each their own, but to me, I find it just extremely, it's disgusting to me, honestly, to see. And I've seen it with a lot of the big YouTubers. They big up and, they hype up. They were doing it with FTX. They were doing it with Lunacy. And now you don't even hear them retracting anything. They kind of just shut up about it and just move on, and they continue. And again, people forget, and that's how that's how things happen. People just forget about it and they continue following them because they have good YouTube videos. They have the flashy
charismatic.
Yeah, exactly. And yes, they have a team of 50 people working with them. So they can put out 10 videos every day and whatever. So again, not all of the big YouTubers are bad, but you have to be very cautious, especially during the bull market. Oh, you can get caught up in a narrative that, one, it might be the narrative that you want, right? You might be the one like, I want Bitcoin to go to 150,000, right? But then because you're hearing everybody say, yeah, Bitcoin is going to 150, 200, blah, 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 you kind of forget about what's in front of you. You forget about the technical analysis. You forget about the indicators showing you, well, hey, we are extremely oversold right now at 69,000. We're actually touching the top of the Fibonacci retracement. Like, it's
and we have a big bearish divergence on the monthly and the weekly and the daily, saying crashing coming.
There's no room to go up anymore. So, but everybody's so caught up in that hype of the 150 that we kind of forget about that. And so again, really, and that's why managing your emotions and really just focusing on your charts, your community. Yes, it's okay to listen. You want to hear what's going on, but don't put everything into what you're hearing. Always fall back on your charts, always fall back on fundamental analysis, technical analysis, because it does not fail. Technical analysis does not fail.
And then there's also there's the practice, which is what I've started to do more and more, of whenever you start getting excited about, like recently, it was going, Bitcoin, it's going to go to 18,000, and then it's going to go to 19,000, going to go to 20,000. And being a crypto ninja, we're heading towards a full moon, and we usually start getting a bit of a dump into a full moon, and then we pump. And what are we getting today? We're getting a bit of a dump. We've got the Dixie, which has a bullish divergence, which means as that goes up, the stock market's going to come down. The stock market was at resistance and it had a bearish divergence. There's no way Bitcoin was going to go to 18K today, right? We get a dump instead. So what I've been doing as a habit, this is a habit, when I hear all the hype and I get excited, I literally pull my body back. I just go, oh, So it's like, here's the emotion that I just got caught up in. And if I pull my body back, now the emotion's not in me, it's there. And I can look at it. And then I can just push it aside and just go, okay, let's get back to the charts. Let's have a look at the technical analysis. Where are we at? Where's the RSI? What's going on with the trend? Where's the money flow? You're looking at all of your indicators, right? You're looking at your moon phase. Where we are in the moon phase? Where are we with the Dixie? Where are we with market cap? Where, you know, like you just go through your routine, right?
Exactly.
You get into the habit of going through the routine so that you don't get caught up in the FUD. And then that would be a FOMO rather. Then it would be the same with FUD. Bitcoin's going to 10,000. Bitcoin's going to 9,000, going to 8,000. So you might be sitting there not getting in and watching it go up, right?
Yeah.
Moving away from 15,300. You're going, oh, when's it going to come down? When's it going to come down? And it's possible that the bottom's already in. Right?
Very possible. It is very possible. So that's why DCA, very important strategy. Simplest strategy for everybody, just DCA.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Yes.
Final habit.
So my final habit for everyone is review, compare, adjust strategies. So this again is very important because you have no idea where you're going if you cannot see where you've been. So if you have no way of knowing how your trades have been going, what your entry points have been for your portfolio, where everything is. If you have a portfolio manager that you can see, okay, I'm up or I'm down. All of these things will have an impact on if you can really tell if what you're doing is good or not. And it's very easy to lose yourself in the crypto space because there's so much that is happening at once. Like you could be trading, you could be investing, you could have money in different protocols and different DeFi spaces. So understanding how to manage each one. So me personally, I have a manager and a tracker for every single investment individually. And then I have my main tracker that kind of gives me an overall view of everything. And then for my trading, that's completely separate, right? That's a separate portfolio that's specific for trading. And that's managed on a monthly basis. And I have a specific routine for that. So if I made 30% that month, a certain amount of that percent of that portfolio goes into my HODL portfolio, another percent goes into this, and then a percent goes back into trading. So again, everybody will have their own strategy on how to adjust it, but you have to have one. You have to compare it, review it, and adjust it.
Yeah, and what you said there is really important, getting into the habit of taking profits out and putting it into a safer asset or into your HODL position. That is really important because that can balance out any trades that you lose or any value that you lose in your portfolio when the market crashes. That's a strategy we teach in Crypto Ninjas as well. It's a strategy that all financial advisors and wealth creators will teach you, right? Take 10% off the top, put it somewhere safe into your savings. Another 10% goes into your investment, so for me, it's the percentages are a bit more, but it comes out and it goes into a hard asset because I'm buying land and farming and all that stuff that we're doing here at Vistamundo with the food forest. So there's a hard asset there too. And then you can put some more back in to your trading. If you put everything into your trade, right? You put it all back into your trading portfolio and you don't take a little bit out, then what happens if you lose? You don't only lose your capital, you lose your profit, right? And now what do? You don't have reserves to make it back. So that's a really good habit to get into. Brilliant. So I'm looking forward to more of your videos on the channel, Stephan. We are going to be getting back into our live streaming. We're just getting all of the new technology set up. Stephan's going to be joining us. Kelly's going to be joining us. Teresa will join us from time to time. And we will be making an announcement early next week as to what days and times that's going to be happening so that we can get back into the groove of things as we gear up to switch the mindset, because we are heading into very soon into the the beginning of the sideways but upwards channel towards the bull market, right?
Yep. I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to it. Yep.
if there was one important thing for our viewers in our community to do on a daily basis that would help them with their self-growth, what would that be? I.e., is there something that you do that is profoundly important to your day and has made a difference for you?
Yes, I would say, like they say, start your day right. So I, the first thing I do when I open my eyes, I give thanks just for being here again. I'm fortunate to be here, like you guys heard about my
You
story.
really
Like,
are.
so
Yeah.
just giving thanks for being here again. And no matter what situation I'm in, I know that I can improve it. I have life, I have energy, I have health. So anything else can happen. Everything else can be accomplished. So for me, I think that'll be the number one. Just always wake up with that energy and that vibration of gratitude.
Yeah.
And then
I think starting the day out right is important. I know there are a lot of traders out there that roll over, have their phone and have a look at their
I used to
trade.
be that guy.
Right. Yeah. And I don't do that because your head can just get so messed up with technology
Exactly.
and the EMF and all of that energy that you don't think straight for the rest of the day.
Oh yeah,
So
and if you have a bad trade, if you wake up to a losing trade, you just set
you start
yourself
your
up
day like
to
crap, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get up at 5. Like I wake up at 5 because there's not a lot going
5
on in the
a.m.
markets
club.
at 5 o'clock. Yeah. And I can get what I call my power hour in. So I can get all of my personal development stuff done before the markets start really getting some kind of action and activity happening.
Yep. Well, we're on the same page. We're the 5 a.m. club. We have our
Yeah.
morning routines. Like
Yeah.
set your morning routine. Very important.
Yeah.
If you can set your morning routine, even if it's just 15 minutes, half an hour that you dedicate to yourself,
Yeah.
it will make a big difference.
Yeah. For me, my morning routine is my power hour. Then it's meeting with my team to get them in my business. I have a team when I get them sorted for the day. And, I don't meet them every day, but on the days that I do, we do. And then it's now Stephan. I go for my walk with Stephan so I can earn some GMT and some GST, right?
I'm going to get that set up very soon. I'm
And
heading to
then,
Portugal, so I'm going to be using it a lot while I'm there.
yeah. And then I check my trades. I check my trades and get set up for the day for trading so that that everything is nice in alignment. And then here's a really good tip just to finish off with, guys. The 4-hour candle is one of the most important candles to be watching, and as well as the daily candle. And if you know when the 4-hour candle closes, it's good to just check in at those times so you're not checking in all the time all day because you don't need to, because most of your decisions can't be made until that 4-hour candle is posted, right? So get into that habit of knowing when those times are and organizing yourself around that. And I like the 4-hour candle in my time zone, which is USA Central Time Zone, is 6 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 10 o'clock in the evening, and then 2 o'clock in the morning. So that 2 o'clock in the morning one, obviously I skip because I'm sleeping, and sometimes I skip the 10 o'clock one in the evening. But if you know when that candle's printing in your time zone and you have those times next to your computer, you will save so much time going in and out of the charts as well. So good habits to get into. Looking forward to getting this out and having more talks about these in greater depth as we have you on the channel, Stephan. That's really awesome. You want to see more about Stephan? He's opening up a brand new channel on his journey in crypto investing, trading, and with a slant on the self-growth aspect. That link is below. And if you really enjoyed this discussion, we are conscious crypto traders, which means we're always talking about consciousness, talking about trading consciously. We would love for you to join our community, subscribe, and definitely like this video to help us get this out to more people if you found it valuable. Thanks for your time today, Stephan, and I'll speak to you real soon.
Thank you, Nicola.
Bye-bye.